Hi, I'm Mike Marino, and we have been talking with Bill Medley and Bucky Hurd, the Righteous Brothers, individually. But now, just to prove that they actually do get along, we put them together, Bill Medley and Bucky Hurd. For over a decade now, you guys have been performing all over the country as the Righteous Brothers. Bill, Bucky, thanks.
Hey, Mike. Thanks,
Thank you, Michael.
So, Bill, you told the story, and Bucky told the story from his perspective, but when I met you, when we did a book together, your memoir, you were just working as Bill Medley, and you really didn't have plans to reform the Righteous Brothers. But it's worked out pretty well.
Well, it's worked out wonderful. I mean, it's been, and like Bucky, I think he said that, you know, we put it together to work for 3 months. And it's worked itself into about 10 or 11 years. And, but you don't know what's going to work or what the audience is going to accept or not accept. And I mean, you can watch the Idol show or America's Got Talent. You'll see guys up on the stages that are just remarkably good, and you go, God, there's some guy that was singing a gospel song, "Come Jesus Come," and he's and I don't even know his name, and I've watched it about 10 times. It's gorgeous, but boy, is he a scary good singer, kind of a blue-eyed singer, you know, and so you just don't know what the audience is going to say. Yeah, I'll take that, and I think I told you earlier, I made up a saying that the impossible is more probable than the obvious, because they're going to accept Tiny Tim. And they're going to, the guy that sounds and looks like Elvis, which you would go, that's it. He's perfect. No, they took Tiny Tim.
Yeah.
The impossible is more probable than the obvious.
Well, something that you and Bobby Hatfield had, and something that you and Bucky Hurd have, and I don't really even know how to explain it, is chemistry. You guys just fit together.
Well, you can't buy it, you can't teach it, you can't get it in college. It is what it is. And when Bucky and I got together, we didn't know that we were going to have that. I certainly didn't.
There was no way to know that.
And the way we put the first shows together kind of leaned a little heavier on me as far as dialogue or jokes or this and that. And it just keeps, because of the chemistry, it's worked its way into we are an act, and he is as important as I am.
Well,
no.
Well, you remember you told me, you said you said when we first started, you said they have to get used to you, and that's why you're so brilliant at knowing what the audience wants and needs and how they need it. We got to spoon feed them. We got to spoon feed you to them to begin with. So you're going to be back here. You're going to come forward and sing the songs. You're going to talk a little bit. But I was already in such respect and awe of him that was real easy for me, because I didn't want to be up there. You know, I wanted just to like put my toes in the water. But Bill said, over the years, or if this progresses, which we're hoping, or like we're hoping it will, you will become more and more. But we had no idea what it would become and how comfortable it would become, and how like things happen and we play off of each other. And I mean, it's loosely scripted, but it's got the illusion of being the first time every night, because it really is. Like, I love, what's your analogy you gave me about how we relate to the audience? About like your first date, every audience is.
Well, yeah. I mean, you do, especially on the road, when you're doing concert, you know, in Memphis, and now you're in Nashville, and that show is like your first date, and it is your first date to that audience.
Yes.
And so you dress as nice as you can. You try and be cute and funny, and that's your first date. And And so we understood that, and we got that, and
It's real every time.
Yeah, a lot of performers or singers, and that's where they go south. The audience is the most important thing
Yes.
in the world. So you want to, and the great thing that the Righteous Brothers did is the audience loved what we loved, and they love what we love, and so they fall in love with you, but it's like the first date. It's always like it's still with me the first date. And I've had some rough first dates.
Yeah, but it put it in a different perspective for me. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
Because I naturally feel like I do that for my shows. I mean, like in Branson, 12 shows a week, people are like, how do you do that show over and over and over again? And it not just drive you insane. And like, I never put it in those terms, so I was never able to really articulate it. But that is spot on, because even though you're doing the same show, there are different eyes on you. So it is different somehow. Mm-hmm. And so you're able to make every show have the illusion of the first time.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing, Bill. You talk about it in your show. Some of these people have been coming out to see the Righteous Brothers for 60 years.
Yeah.
And you've been singing, you've lost that love and feeling for 60 years. You have to do the hits, right?
Yeah.
And so, it is hard probably to keep it fresh, but those audiences must give you that energy.
Well, listen, the minute you never close they're hugging, and they're, you can feel the love and the memories and everything just flooding to. So it's like it is the first date.
So
it's the first date for us, first date, and so somebody asked me the other day, how many times have you sang Love and Fear? I said, I don't know.
Dude, that'd be scary to count it up.
I don't even want to know.
No, you don't.
I don't want to know. I'm here doing it for 60 years. But it's all about the audience, and that's why you got to make them relax. You got to make them go.
Yeah.
I've always said this: if a performer walks on stage and he's a guy and he's singing, but he has his zipper down and doesn't know it, the audience is like this the whole time.
Yeah, very uncomfortable. Yeah.
Until he goes, oh, then they go.
Yeah.
That's the truth, man.
Now, have you had that happen? You sound like you have personal experience.
No, when we go on stage, the last thing I do is check my fly.
I've had it happen.
I'm sure I have too.
Woo. I was doing a show one time, a scripted show. I think it was South Pacific, and I'm playing this character, and the audience is laughing. The bit's going. I'm thinking, God, we're killing tonight. And they're laughing because my fly's down. I'm on fire tonight. No. I walk backstage, and the stage manager goes, God. So I'm not funny.
I know the audiences give you energy, and you said you weren't sure if they were going to come back out when you reformed the Righteous Brothers. But does it ever amaze you that they don't just come out? There's a whole bunch of them that come out. You guys are selling out theaters.
Yeah, I just flat out can't believe it. I remember we were doing a concert somewhere out there, and it was during the day, thank God. And I was looking out the window of all the people that were coming in. And you could tell how old they were.
Can I finish the story?
Yeah, go ahead.
He calls me over. We're in Lancaster, Pennsylvania at the American Theater.
Yeah.
American Theater. I remember where we were, because this is one of the defining moments in my Righteous Brothers career. He says, Buck, come here. And I said, walk over and looking out the window and see all this line of people going in. We're sold out, 3:00 show, afternoon. He goes, isn't it great? Look at all the people coming in to see us. And it's great, isn't it? I said, it's fantastic. He goes, I want you to pay real close attention to their age. You better be saving your money.
Well, and I meant it.
And that was like the second year. That was like our second year, like 2017. We had just started.
Yeah.
And then 9-10 years later,
There's
here
a
they are.
reality to this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think you got a real second life with the Righteous Brothers when your songs were in all those movies in the 1980s, and you had Time of My Life. But still, all in all, I've sat in the audience so many times seeing you guys. I wish you guys could sit in the audience and see you guys and see the reaction of those people. These people are reliving memories and tearing up. It's really quite a blessing to be part of that.
Well, Mike, the minute people ask me, what is the moment in the show for you that's just like, wow? And we come out, we do the opener, we do a song, and then we do Soul and Inspiration. And the minute he goes, girl, I can't let you do this, you can see, like he talked about, hands being held. You can just, they are, those memories of when they danced to that song for the first time, what they were doing, where they were. As you know, you're a musical guy. It's a time machine. Yeah. Music is a time machine. And you could, and my wife actually said, when Bill's voice comes out over the audience, it's like a velvet blanket. That your favorite velvet blanket, and I'm like, hold on a second. but it's correct.
Where is that blanket?
Where is that blanket? But it is, and you can feel it, and you can feel the love and the admiration, and I've started to feel that as well. When we first started and the curtain came up, I felt like, so let's say there's Bill and there's me, I felt like they were going, scrutinized.
Yeah.
You know, but Bill said, no, he goes, don't get online, don't read what people say about you, because eventually they're going to come to love you and understand what you're doing, and that you're not trying to take Bobby's place. That was never the goal. You know, my goal was, like Bill always says, to fill in, to step in and just try to be Bill's wingman. And what the main goal, I think, if I can answer for you, and I think you feel this way, because I love the music and because he created the music, we just want to keep bringing it to the audiences. We want to keep bringing that not be corny, that love and feeling to the audiences, so they can keep reliving those memories. And I don't know, I think I can speak for you on this too. We do it, and he's doing it at 86, and we're still doing it because we love it. We love every second being on that stage, and we love every second with that audience. And it's just a relationship that is like a drug, and it's so addictive and so fulfilling. And I just can't imagine doing anything else. And I could not be more grateful to you and the Righteous Brothers and Bobby for this opportunity, and for you believing me enough to give me this opportunity, because it's been the best 10, 11 years of my life as well, brother.
Well, you deserve it, and you're an incredible singer, an incredible man, and that's what I needed, that's what I wanted, and that's what I got. And and the one thing that we love the most is, and by the way, I would never want to sit in the audience and watch this, even though it would be the greatest thing in the world to watch this. I don't want to know why it works.
Yeah, okay. That makes a lot of sense.
I don't know, because then you're going to say, well, then I need to do just a little more of that. Yeah. No. I don't want to know what the magic is. I don't want to know. Let's just keep doing. Well, and before every show, and this is the real blessing about it, before every show, we hug each other and we say, touch somebody.
Touch somebody.
Touch somebody. Because you never know who you're touching. And you're going to touch somebody. Yeah, and make sure we touch them tonight.
And people are going through things out there that we can't even imagine. And they come into the theater to hear these songs and paid a ticket to be transported out of whatever situation that they're, whether it be something health, or maybe they're going through something in their marriage, whatever it might be. For those 2 hours, we can take them away from that, and we can give them some joy. And you just don't know when the show is over who's leaving and whose lives you've touched. But you know, like he said, you've touched somebody.
Wow.
Yeah, and the one thing that we love to hear from the audience when we go out, and we will sometimes sign autographs and stuff. And the one thing that I love the most anyway is when they say, "Boy, what a great show. Great show, but boy, I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that." Because then there's a lot of these groups that, that are doing other acts, what do you call tribute acts. Mm-hmm. Well, they just come out and they do those songs. So there's nothing, wow, that was really, I mean, when he does Crying, they'll say, I didn't expect that, or Nessun Dorma by Pavarotti, and Funny, all that. We're funny, but we always take the songs very, very serious. We don't carry the comedy into the songs.
No.
And it's also timed very well. Like we kind of stay pretty in here until like it's just really the levels until like maybe midway, half or further into the show, when the audience is relaxed and they've heard all the songs and they're waiting on Love and Feeling still. Yeah. But then it's kind of like you've gotten to know each other. You don't want to be too. Once you get to know each other as friends, don't you feel? Then you kind of loosen up a little bit. Then we can kind of be, get into more of the funny, and then we make them laugh.
But we start enjoying it too much.
Yeah, we do.
Well,
no, it's not too much.
I don't think it's too much.
No.
Well, there was a time in Las Vegas.
It can be.
The Rat Pack guys, Dean Martin and Sammy Davis, and a lot of the entertainers of that day did very enjoyable shows that contained all the elements you just talked about. Not just music, but you felt like you got to know them.
Sure.
And they connected with the audience. There aren't that many shows like that left. No. You're one of the few guys that knows how to do a show like that.
Yeah.
And people walk away saying, as you said, and I hear it all the time sitting in the audience, wow, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
In a good way. They're very unexpected. You're not just phoning it in and doing the hits.
No. It's we just have a good. The great thing is, man, is they love what we love. That makes it easy. Yeah. Now, if I had to go out and do, and I love Kiss, I joke about it, but I like the guys, and I was bummed when they took the makeup off.
They had the best gig in the world.
That's a guy. You can do 20,000 people and then take the makeup off and walk through the audience.
Hey, listen, tell the Kiss story when Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley came in to see you backstage.
Yeah, we were all doing a show together. And Kiss was on, but I mean, the Stones were on it, and I was Bill Medley at that point. And I got a knock at the door, and there's two long-haired dudes, and that was pretty normal. And I opened the door. I said, "Hey," and they said, "Well, we're in a band or this and that." I said, "Come on in." They sat down. We probably talked for 20 minutes. I think it was Paul that looked at me and said, "You don't know who we are, do you?" And I said,
"You tried your best to play it off."
No, I don't. I said, I'm Paul, and this is Gene. We're the Kiss. We're Kiss. Yeah. I said, "Oh my God! Well, it's your fault. We're in that crap."
No, exactly.
Yeah. But that was cute, and it was cute of them to not come in and say, "Well, can we talk to you for?" They just wanted to.
They probably enjoyed your awkwardness. They were like, "Let's see what he does here.
See how we can answer this." But anyway, it was fun.
Well, Bill, you're in your 80s, and of course, everybody that's in their 80s has had some back and forth with some health issues. But you're doing really well. But your energy on stage just seems phenomenal. It really does look like you're having fun.
Well, I am having fun, and I'm sure you would know, and Bucky knows, that you can have the worst day you've ever had and walk on stage, and for some reason it goes away, comes back about 15 minutes after the show. but it's just that I can remember going through a divorce or this and that and being very depressed, but go on stage.
Mm-hmm. When my mom passed away, I took about a week off.
Yeah.
And they said, take as much time as you like. I said, I need to get back on the stage.
Absolutely.
And the minute I went back on the stage for 2 hours, it's kind of like
medicine.
What the audience is experiencing. They come in, and for 2 hours, we take them away, but they don't know that they're actually taking us away as well.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So now you're on the Righteous Brothers farewell tour. I mean, you're going all over the place, but I mean, no signs that there's any reason to quit right away.
No.
You're going to keep rolling, right?
Well, it's just the dangest thing, which I haven't said dangest in a long
Dangest,
while.
sounds like you're going down to my Alabama Southern roots for that one. I'm rubbing off on you,
It's
son.
just the dangest thing.
The dangest thing. You sound like Jonathan Winters.
Yeah, well, that would be good. We decided, and I have some heart stuff, AFib and this and that, which, once again, you would think would hold you back. The minute I walk on stage, I don't have AFib. It's gone. And my energy is, but if I had to walk up a flight of stairs, but on stage, and the dangest thing is that my voice is getting better and better.
That's a fact.
And better, and I don't know why.
He asked me, are you paying people to come up and tell me just so we can keep working that my voice is? I said no. Like his son, Darren, the other day just said, Dad, it's sounding better than I've ever. I said, I know it, man. I've been standing next to this man for 11 years, and he sounds better now than when we started, and that is no lie. And I don't know what happened or how it happened, but it's the truth.
I don't either. But so. The farewell tour would last 2 or 3 years anyway. We have some contracts to fulfill and some places that we want to get back to before fold up the tent. And God only knows how long that's going to take. We're not saying that it's our farewell. Of course it's our farewell tour. All farewell tours end at some point.
Yeah.
Jack Benny said, this is my first farewell tour.
Yeah.
My first one.
Now,
so it'll last,
They're still coming, They're still coming. He's still doing it at a high level.
Yeah.
I'm still having a ball. So why quit? I mean, what are we going to do?
Yeah, well, that's the point, because if I quit, that's me quitting life.
Yeah.
I would be done. I'm a one-trick pony. I'm a singer.
well, Bill, we're friends, and I don't mean this in a way that sounds insincere, but you really are a national treasure.
Without question.
I mean, people view you that way.
Well,
We can't go out to a restaurant, and people still recognize you, and you've been around for a while, and they still come up to the table. I mean, I don't think national treasure is an overstatement. So I appreciate your friendship on a personal level, but I hope you know how much people love you.
And it's not just people, it's like celebrities I have seen, like Jackson Brown took my phone one night. I met him and I said, Bill Medley, he goes, Bill Medley? Jackson Brown. He took my phone for 20 minutes talking to Bill and telling him, how he influenced him. He was a Southern California boy and how his music influenced him. Over and over I've seen that with celebrities. So it's everybody. And the reverence that they have for him is so wonderful. And I just can't even imagine how you must feel, or if you can even wrap your head around that.
Well, I can't wrap my head around it, and I don't want to.
Yeah.
That's
because you're a very humble guy.
I'm asked that all the time. How's it feel to, and you this and that? I said, I don't know. I don't know how it feels. I don't want to know why it's happening. I don't want any of that. Too much knowledge can be a bad thing. It's whatever it is, it's working, and I don't have to try about it, and I don't want to write it into the show.
I understand that.
It's just, if people love what I do, God bless you.
It's magic, man. It's magic.
God gave me this, took it away, and gave it back to me, and I've always have given God the credit. I'm not smart enough, don't want to work hard enough. God just, well, even Bobby Hatfield and I getting together is a God thing. I mean, two white guys from Orange County can sing like that together, and somebody put us together, not knowing that, you know. And then when Bucky and I got, it was the same thing, and we're out there. We're not tearing the walls down. We're not, you know, we're doing what we do, and we don't need 10,000 people a night. We don't want 20 people a night, but if we can do 1,000, 1,500 people a night, that pays the rent, and
everybody's happy.
Good for our ego. And
everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy.
Hey, before we go, I did want to mention both of you have new albums out, and yours you were asked to do, Curb Records, was a country album, old country standards, and you recently, of all the places you've been all over the world, you made your debut at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville.
Yeah, scary.
Yeah, I bet.
Been in the business 60 years, and I was scared to death. It was just a different lane and a different different audience, different songs, rock and roll, country, and original country, real country. And so it was pretty scary, but I did 4 songs, got 2 standing ovations.
I was in the audience for it. It was in.
Well, one of the ovations was the people leaving.
No, but he walks out and opens his set on the stage of the Grand Ole Opry doing George Jones, you know, the cojones that takes on the Grand Ole Opry, and people loved it. I mean, loved it. And then, of course, he did Time of My Life with McKenna at the end, and Nashville is the bachelorette capital. Girls, all ages were up dancing, and he, like I said, 2 standing ovations. Unchained Melody he did was beautiful. I was just sitting in the audience. I don't even know if this is the right word, but I came backstage and just hugged him. I said, dude, I don't know if this is going to come across, but I am so proud of you. I was just sitting out there beaming, and people just loved it, you know, singing, and he was just wonderful. It was just amazing. Wonderful.
And on that album, you have a duet with Vince Gill, with Keb Mo, Michael McDonald, from
Sean Colvin,
Doobie Brothers, Sean Colvin. So I highly recommend it to anybody that's out there.
It's called Straight from the Heart.
Straight from the heart.
Your new album has, well, some original songs on it.
Yeah. It's called Breathless.
Breathless,
Breathless.
It's a country rock album.
It's amazing.
Thank you,
the
man.
videos.
It's a great album.
The videos, you're a handsome fella, and you do well in the videos.
I just have nice hair.
Oh, God, don't tell me that.
I lent you my hair. See, God, he says, I'll give it to Bucky.
I'll give it to Buck. He needs it. I need it. Well, it's funny. We recorded. I went in with my manager, and we found a producer named Bob Bullock, who is amazing, and he's not only country, like he's worked with Mutt Lange and Shania Twain, although he's worked with George Jones and everybody, but he's also worked with REO Speedwagon and the Tubes. He was an engineer on the Rumors album, so he's rock and roll and country, and he picked Curb Records as well. So both of us recorded our albums at Curb Studios. I sang in the same booth that he did, and so the greatest songwriters in Nashville. There's 7 original songs. I wrote one of them, and then of course, because Crying has meant so much to me in my career, it is so funny. It's a song that I never sang Orbison ever. He was untouchable to me until Bill made me, and I'm so glad he did, because we put a really amazing version of Crying. And my music director for the project was a guy named Chris Lusinger, who's been with Garth Brooks. Every Garth Brooks hit, that's him playing on. And he arranged this incredible, soulful, Chris Isaacs almost version of that song. So it's the only cover that I did on the album, but we produced 4 music videos. And I just find it funny. I see, like, our lives are still mirroring each other, because we both did solo albums within half a year of each other, and they're both country. His is a little more old school country, and mine's a little more southern country rock. I went back to my band days, with 38 Special Leonard Skinner kind of sound. But
that's fantastic. You guys do such a great job on everything you do. Bill, before we go, I know the music business has changed a lot from when you started to today. I mean, didn't have digital anything then. You know, we had dial telephones. But not just in the music business, because listen, you've had ups and downs in your life. I mean, you had an ex-wife that you murdered. We talked about terrible tragedy. You had to do a single parent thing with your son, Darren. Your wife, Paula, who you were married over 40 years. We lost her during COVID. So you've had your ups and downs. What would you tell a young person who says, how do I live a successful life?
Well, I had a friend, well, not a real good friend, but I had. Sorry, I had a friend that thought, and because I was making pretty good money, and this is a kid that I grew up. All my friends are guys I went to school with, kind of like Bucky, and I don't have as many friends because I didn't go to school as long, But he said, boy, if I had $200,000, I could do this, boy, and people would love it. I said, dude, and this was in the 60s, I said, if you can go to work at 8 o'clock, open the door and work for somebody, and close the door at 5 o'clock and go home to your beautiful family, take them out for a pizza dinner, and I said, that's success.
Amen.
This money isn't success.
No.
Girls wanting you isn't. It's just not a success. That it is. I mean, it is
fun.
success. It's nice, but real success is here.
Yeah.
And a lot of people put success on it that they can't get it.
They put a monetary value on it.
You can, man. Success is here. You don't need to make $5,000 a week. You probably need to make $1,000 a week in today's thing, and you have freedom, and and you have enough freedom in your mind to give it to your family. Mm-hmm. You can go out to dinner with your family and not take, oh God, the business is something.
Oh boy,
it's tough.
Yeah, our mutual friend Tony Orlando said something quite profound. He said, fame isn't really fame. It just looks that way from a distance.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, and so I guess what I hear you saying, Bill, is clarify what's important, what's really important in your life.
Yeah, I mean, and I've even told Bucky, you know, when I am done, don't spend all your time trying to get all of it. Just get what you need and what you want. Be comfortable. Don't think that you're failing because you're not this. This is a magic act. I don't know what to explain what this is, and I've had it for 65 years. Still don't know what it is,
and don't want to know.
And don't want to know.
But if you try sometime, you just might find you get what you need, right?
Yeah,
It's like the Stones, baby.
Maybe. But success is right here. It's like this damn country that we're going through right now, with the good and the bad and the ugly, with this and that. They're here, and the answer is always here. And it's the same thing in our business or anything. You can go for this, probably not going to get it, and you don't want this, and you're talented, so you're not going to get this. You just want that middle lane, balance. And that's where Bobby and I landed, and we were fine with that. That's where Bucky and I are. We go to work for the Beach Boys, open the show. We're fine with it. We'll open the show. That's the middle lane. They're over, and boy, when you're in the fast lane, it's all consuming. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say.
That's perfectly said.
Bill Medley, Bucky Hurd, you know I love you both dearly as friends, and I can't tell you how much I admire you as professionals, but more so as men. I just know you to be real guys of strong character, And I think that's what comes through when people can see it. You're not fooling them. You can't fool them for 60 years.
No, you can't do it.
It's the real deal.
Can't
So
do it for
thank
60
you.
minutes.
Yeah.
No.
So thank you both for taking this time with us today, and wish you every good thing for the future.
Oh, thank you, man.
Thank you, my brother.
Back at you.
I just wanted to mention one of the great parts of my life was co-writing Bill Medley's memoir with Bill Medley. We only had time to touch on a few of his stories today. There are so many great stories in this book, so I encourage you to get it. You can get it anywhere books are sold, or better yet, go to see the Righteous Brothers and they sell them out front. Thanks so much for being with us today. I'm Mike Marino, and it's been my pleasure to be with you.